Remember that night in Chicago when I said I'd never leave your side. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave your side. I don't wanna say goodbye. I don't wanna end the night right now. I just wanna smoke until the sunrise. Say goodnight. I don't wanna leave your side. Cloud nine. I just wanna smoke until my lungs cave in. I don't like to talk when I'm hella faded. Turn the music up, dish my shit, listen close, focus on the cadence. I just want something low-key, uncomplicated. As long as the earth in rotation, I'ma be faded. I don't wanna say goodbye. I don't wanna end the night right now. I just wanna smoke until the sunrise. I don't wanna say goodnight. I don't wanna leave your side. Cloud nine. I just wanna smoke until my lungs cave in. Inside my corrupted mind, through the world, through my crooked eyes. Inside my corrupted mind. Tell me what you find. Look in the white of my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white in my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about. Trapped in my head, run from infinite thought. When I was young, I would run from the cops. Fearing and death, I just run from the loss. Dumb inside my corrupted mind. Search every corner where the demons hide. I don't even know what you're trying to find. What you're trying to find. This fucked up life of mine. Down and low like a landmine. I'm down to my damn mind. Every single day I'm sky high. Look in the white of my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white in my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine. I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white in my eyes when you're spilling your lies. I'm high. I wanna talk about. There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back. Yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend. So I'm going to keep this stream pretty quick. I'm actually going to South Florida for the whole week starting tomorrow morning. So I won't be streaming until next Wednesday. Hopefully nothing crazy happens until then, because I'm going to be like in and out of the middle of the ocean. But I'll still have an eye on charts, still be tweeting here and there, just not live streaming because I won't be at my PC. What's up, mining? What's up, crypto reactor? What's up, Fugaz? How's it going? What's up, yes sir? I'm doing good, man. My youngest brother's birthday, 21st birthday, was this weekend, so I got to celebrate with him, and just enjoying the summer. It's been really, really nice this summer. So I've been out fishing a lot, been out in the sun a lot. Cannot complain at all. Oh, 1 second, I gotta turn this on or turn it off. Okay, I'm good. So gonna do a quick analysis today. Gonna give you guys some of my thoughts on just some like responses to tweets. Nothing negative, just I think a lot of people are really confused right now, and I'm gonna try and clear the air. Just on like macro market and what a lot of people think, and what the thing that really gets me is you have these huge influencers and that have been in the crypto space or whatever, but they really have no idea what's going on with macro market analysis or anything like hedge fund private equity related. And one of the things that I've kind of done over the last 2 years is expose myself to that way I can learn more. Learning is key to trading, right? You need to be constantly learning and adapting, going with everything. But what I'm taking away is, guys, like in a very, step aside from your bias for a second and look at this, right? The S&P 500 is 6% off from all-time highs. Okay, this is not a cryptocurrency. This is not a risk asset class. This is not a pump and dump, whatever. This is, it's not I believe it's the largest. It's one of the largest, overall equity market, macro indications that you can look at, other than maybe the DXY, right? This thing doesn't shift and it's not really volatile. It is a general health indicator of economy, of macro market. We're looking at, a lot of people are saying, oh, a recession's coming, something's coming. Yes, you're right. Something is coming, but probably not for a couple years. Like there will be something that happens where you have all of these people that can't afford anything and something will happen. You are right, but you are way out of the timeline. Like we're talking 1 to 2 years from now, I'm expecting this thing to hit 6,000-ish, maybe mid fives, whatever it'll be. I'm expecting it to at least break all-time highs and continue its bull run, right? You had this massive correction, which again, a lot of people that are in crypto think a 30% correction is nothing. This is enormous. This is crazy when you're looking at a massive macro market or a massive equity market. So we had that giant correction. We corrected almost to the point of the recession average. We hit every financial definition of recession. And to be fair, I think it's something similar to the 2018 mini recession. For anyone that knows, we actually corrected around 21%. We had what people would call a mini recession, right? You had this period of sideways, of correction. You didn't really make or lose any money here, and then we had COVID, and then continued higher from there. Had COVID not happened, we probably would have solved this anyways. But anyways, you're looking at somewhere between a major recession and a 2018 mini recession. So you have this, like, if we're talking levels of recession, if 2018 is a 2 and 2008 is a 10, you're looking at about a 5, 6, or 7 on this level of recession. Yes, we did go through recession. Almost every financial definition of recession was hit. I know that there's people out there that say, oh, well, this didn't happen and this didn't happen and that didn't. Guys, not everything has to line up. When you have, let's say there's 100 reasons that describe recession, and if we hit 95 of those, it's still recession, right? You're still hitting recession. If you hit 70 of those, you're still in recession. I'd say under 50, you're probably just looking at a pullback or correction, but we're well over 70, right? So for me, we've had recession. I think a lot of people that think we're going to have a recession don't realize we already went through one. On top of that, your risk assets, guys, and step away from the crypto bubble for a minute. Your tech sector dropped about 80% on average. The NASDAQ and the Dow both dropped significantly with the S&P 500. Companies had layoffs, and a lot of people are forgetting major companies had layoffs, right? Major corporate companies that do billions of dollars in business lost 30% of their value, if not more, right? We had not like a catastrophic fall, but you had a fall, you had a pullback, you had a recession. A recession is just a pullback in the market. So we've had that. We've had it. I don't understand why people keep like chugging on that we're going to dump to $12,000 from here. The S&P 500. Like I saw someone's chart. It looked like this, right? Like if you honestly believe that the S&P 500 is similar to Luna or some shit coin, I just don't know what to tell you, right? I've also given many reasons on just basic. The market's going to be led by investor capital, not by economic gains. And on top of that, there are still a lot of people with money. I don't think people realize how many people it went from either lower class to middle class, or lower class to upper class, or middle class to upper class, or upper class to, the super wealthy elite during this period. Like there are so many people that made money during that period, and I'm one of them. And I know many of you watching are some of them as well. Right, so you had lots of people that have made money, lots of funds during this period. It wasn't the most predictable recession, but it was pretty predictable. In a TA stance, you had a perfect head and shoulders as well. So you could have gotten out somewhere here, not selling the top. You had your neckline there, drop. We go down lower, we get those bullish divergences, and then continued upwards. On top of that, we spent about a year in a downtrend, kind of downtrend and sideways. I mean, you look at what is this, 69 bars? So you're looking at about a year and a little bit more where we haven't really done anything. On top of that, if you just look at, let's say we break our all-time high somewhere in, not May. Let's say we break it sometime in October, right? So October, November, you're looking at 95 bars. It's almost 2 years of sideways of quote-unquote recession. At the bar and showed up late. Yeah, I streamed a little late. I was in the middle of something. What's up, Jory? What's up, Armo? How's it going? So yeah, and I think everybody's like entitled to their own opinion, but one of the things I'm trying to do for people is say, okay, if you believe that this is going to happen, where are your indications that this is going to happen, right? And on top of that, can you go through the reasons for a recession and then go through what just happened over the last year? No one made money in this. I mean, if you're a trader, you probably made money. But if you're a long-term investor, you haven't made money over the last year and a half, right? You're actually still down from the previous high. So yes, technically we're still in a bear market. But just to kind of keep it in a very broad stance, I'm expecting, this level to be hit, some sideways, and then further up. Again, I don't like to give targets. I don't like to say, oh, in October we're going to break all-time highs, but it's likely before the end of the year we break all-time highs and continue upwards. As for the DXY, just providing some confluence to the S&P and why I'm very, very bullish, as many of you are, and even if you're not, it's always good to get a second opinion. This, right? This is huge. This is probably the most bullish sign on my chart. If the SPX breaks all-time highs, that will be the most bullish sign, but this is huge, right? I know a lot of people are calling this deviation. Guys, again, the DXY is not some shit coin. It's not some tech stock. It's not some risk asset. This is a macro market indicator. This doesn't... Now, I'd give you this. Maybe if we wick to here, like this level, and then came back up, okay, maybe some deviation. Like, you could consider this deviation, right? That would be deviation. This is not deviation, right? I'm expecting maybe this, maybe some of this and down, and maybe another bear flag, but ultimately continuation lower. Guys, this is majorly bearish for the DXY, majorly bullish for not only our equity, our equity indexes like the SPX, the NASDAQ, and the Dow, but for risk assets. And I know I had someone today say, oh, well, Bitcoin, it's not moving anywhere. It's not going up. It's not doing this. Guys, Bitcoin's up 100% over the year, right? 100%. The S&P 500's up like 22% for the year. I don't want you guys to be confused with, oh, well, the DXY is doing this. Why isn't Bitcoin doing anything? Guys, Bitcoin will do something. It will continue higher. Maybe it will have a pullback. I don't know. I'm not a gypsy. I'm not a genie. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but this is huge. And I'd also like to add that risk is generally a leading factor. So you had Bitcoin, go up, right? And then the SPX went up, right? So next the SPX went up, the DXY went down. If Bitcoin's a leading indicator, that told these two things. So next, Bitcoin should be deciding, Bitcoin and risk should be ultimately deciding or leading the market at this point, like with a technical definition. But again, you're looking at this macro breakdown. The S&P 500 looks unbelievably bullish. It would be, I don't want to say foolish, like I really don't want to criticize people like that anymore, but it is pretty amazing to me that people look at this and call this deviation. And I'd also argue that deviation hardly ever happens. It's very, very rare that deviation even happens. What's the next support? I can look, but to be fair, let's draw some support lines. So we've got support at 89. Maybe some support here at 97. It's really hard to tell because there's not a lot of. It's hard to tell. I mean, 97, maybe 94. Again, pretty difficult to tell. But the ones that you want to pay attention to are 89, maybe 97. We've already gone through the 101, 102 area. So again, it's hard to call everything in here, right? But we know for sure 89. 89 is the level you want to pay attention to. Like I would see, like basically what I would expect is this is bull run, right? We go on the bull run, SPX breaks out, does whatever. We hit this level and then bounce. You get some kind of relief. Maybe we continue lower, continue that bull run, but eventually you're going to hit a major level. Like let's say we hit 79 again. Right, like we hit this level, you're probably going to see some kind of larger relief, maybe some kind of larger recession or whatever it is. But yes, I will agree. There is something major coming. I don't want to say it's going to happen next year or 2 or 3 years, but I would say 4 to 5 years from now, all of the debt, all of the inability to make payments, all of the financing, yes, that is going to cause some issues. But for now, we're fine. We're actually in a... I think a lot of people see all of these things and they see these higher numbers and they're kind of like, oh, well, it's going to happen tomorrow. Guys, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to take almost half a decade to a decade for those things to really screw people. And you also need to remember that I understand that we'll just say like the lower class people, because they're generally the majority, right? So the majority of people already don't stimulate the economy as much. Like your average millionaire stimulates the economy probably 100 times more than your, someone in the lower class, or even like you say 100 lower class people. A millionaire is going to stimulate the economy much more. They're buying more expensive products. They're buying products more regularly. They're paying them off. They're generally taking loans out, or for financing larger investment products. Like if you think of someone, like I'll give myself as an example. Let's say I'm looking to buy a house, right? Like I'm going to buy a house, right? I'm going to put 20 down. That is me stimulating the economy. If someone's just renting, they're not stimulating the economy as much. Yes, they kind of are, but they're not really. You look at someone, like I just bought a new truck. I put new tires, new a suspension, all of this stuff on it. That's all expensive. That pays for that business, that, buying the tires, that's buying the truck from the dealer. Like that is all economic stimulation. Someone that leases a car or buys not as expensive of a car, whatever, that's less stimulation. So I'm not calling myself like an ultra wealthy millionaire, but I'm just trying to give you guys a very basic example. Or you could have someone that maybe they live in a mansion, right? They're paying for a cleaning service. They're paying for their, if their roof has to be cleaned or their gutters have to be cleaned. They're paying the pool people. They're paying probably a hot tub person. They're paying for probably gardening stuff, right? Like if they do their flower beds, or they probably have a company come in and do their landscaping. Landscaping is the word. They probably pay someone to cut their grass, right? So that is all economic stimulation that someone without a lot of money doesn't have. And usually the people without a lot of money are looking more into that financing and whatnot. And that, like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it's not as effective. I know a lot of people are kind of struggling. Groceries are kind of high, inflation, this and that. I will say gas has come down quite a bit. Gas is almost under $3 where I live, and it was up to $5 last year, which is pretty crazy. No, I'm not calling anybody poor. I'm just saying that generally the wealthier people have 10 times the economic stimulation than someone who maybe doesn't, right? We get this retest of previous support of the XY. We might see mid 28s on Bitcoin, which would be very nice for swing longs. Probably. Yeah. I'm not calling anybody poor. I don't think, like, I don't judge people by wealth. I'm just giving you the definition of like economic stimulation and how valuable wealthier people are in the economy. I'm a firm believer, and I know this is pretty obvious. I'm a firm believer in, you should reduce taxes, because that's more money that we can stimulate the economy. I think the government's very, very, at least our government, the United States, very, very wasteful. But anyways, Tether. Still looking at that head and shoulders. Again, nothing has really changed here. Not really seeing much with this. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't really see anything of concern. There's really nothing to talk about here other than that possible head and shoulders on the weekly. With Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin weekly. Interesting. I tweeted yesterday that, it looks a little funky. It's hard to get a clean read on this. Just so all of you know, it is forming bearish divergence, right? So this is forming bearish divergence, but because we haven't started breaking through that 29.5 or even that 28, that's not confirmed. We could easily continue higher. This is looking more and more like consolidation at this point, especially with all of these closes and these green wicks. You guys also need to remember to break a very, very large resistance level. I mean, you're looking at all of this as resistance. You need more volume. You need more buyers. You need more strength to break that. Because once you break that, there's, I don't see us ever going below it. Maybe in years to come, but at least in the short term, I don't see us going below it. Maybe breaking out, retesting, continuing higher. Ultimately, I don't see a scenario where you break this resistance and then lose it a week later. But yeah, I don't really see anything truly bearish. I'm keeping my eyes open on these possible bearish divergences, but again, nothing too concerning at the moment. Do I think that Bitcoin goes sub 25K this year? I personally don't. Again, I fully believe we break 32,000 and full send to like maybe high 30s, somewhere in the 40s, and then when you see some like probably, let's say in a perfect world I get this right. Let's say we do this, come back down, go sideways, and then we go up from there. We can ignore this line. This line's useless. But I see a scenario where this happens, where essentially you need this sideways movement to cool off, to maybe get rid of divergences that are in play. But I see that scenario. What I don't see is this scenario, right, where people are calling for 12,000. Guys, it just doesn't make any sense. The S&P 500 and Bitcoin have been running somewhat together over the last couple years. Can't say it's a one-to-one relationship, but when the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When the DXY goes down, Bitcoin and the S&P 500 go up. I mean, you have so much bullish confluence here. It's crazy. Once that money starts rotating back into crypto, I just don't see a world where that happens. What's up, Mohammed? I'm doing pretty good. Would you give the confirmation break below 29.5? Yeah, I don't see a world where this happens. Right? Is it possible? Yeah, I'm not going to rule it out. And if it does, I won't be that mad because I'll just continue buying the whole way down. But I just don't see a world where that happens. And part of the thing that gets me is, guys, you have to remember, on Twitter, you saw all this bullish TA here. You saw, like, anyone that posted anything bearish was just shot down. Their engagement was really low. They were told that they were stupid and that the market wasn't going anywhere but up. And then we crashed, right? And I know we got this kind of second rally here, but same deal, right? People were posting 500K Bitcoin charts, and it never happened, right? And then we started a massive bear market. Right now, it's kind of the same deal, but in like the opposite spectrum. When you post bullish TA, like I hardly get any engagement on my bullish TA compared to my bearish TA. Like I'm almost considering an experiment where I post a bearish chart and then I post a bullish chart just to prove a point. Obviously, you guys know I'm bullish, but I feel like everybody at this point knows I'm bullish, and people would be very confused on that. But again, like if I posted a chart like this, right, it would probably get 300-400 likes, 200,000 views, lots of comments and retweets, whatever. If I post this, I don't get anything. Like I'm lucky if I break 100. I'm lucky if I get 10,000 views, which is probably most of you that watch everything I do. But again, it's pretty wild. You're seeing a psychological kind of sentiment as well, right? When everyone's bearish, you look bullish. When everyone's bullish, you look bearish. I don't use harmonics, so I can't really give a thought on that. It wouldn't. I've seen the experiment done before, but I just don't want to piss people off. So I don't want someone to be like, oh, he's bearish now, I'm selling all my DCA that I've been buying, right? So for now, I'm not going to do that. So let's go into the daily. So really like this. This is perfect sideways movement. Yes, we have some bearish divergences, but we're also getting bullish divergences forming. I'm just waiting for a reversal pattern in hour 4, right? So I'm in cash waiting. Kind of sucks waiting, but we're ultimately just kind of waiting for something like this. Maybe we get something like that. Maybe we get something like this, right? So ultimately waiting for that, but for now, in cash. I don't like scalping or range trading. Plus, I feel like every time I do it, we break out or break down, so maybe I should do it. Part of my confluence is Bitcoin dominance. I do believe that dominance will continue higher. Maybe a little bit lower. You might see a pop from altcoins, but it'll rip. I've said this multiple times to my students and patrons, like, start trading Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin dominance is going to continue higher. It just broke out. Bitcoin's going to take more liquidity from alts, or just overall move higher than alts. That's how dominance works. We're seeing Bitcoin dominance move higher, right, with the price of Bitcoin. So that's really, really, ultimately really bullish for Bitcoin. There will be some alts that pop off here and there. It's, there's no tell which ones they'll be. It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket, but ultimately you want to trade Bitcoin until that bull run starts. Maybe you could buy some alts, like Link is still kind of in its range. It's still pretty low. Like, for those of you that don't know, I bought I think like $10,000 worth of Link, somewhere in the lower fives. So it's doing pretty well right now. I've been buying Link throughout the year, but then I put a pretty large order, so now I'm probably done buying Link for a little while, at least until we break 9. Stick to swings. Yeah, swing trading is where the money's at, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, like, if I had been a scalper or, like, hey, I'm up a bunch of money, I should take profit, I would have taken profit here on the 1 hour. There was like a nice double top there, but I was like, the 4 hour still looks bullish. This is one of the cleanest inverted head and shoulders I've seen on an altcoin in a while. And we had the volume validation too. Unfortunately, we dumped. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Kind of like same old, same old. The last couple months, we've really not done a lot. I'm sorry for the kind of lack of content. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Oh, tomorrow I am speaking for. I have to figure out the link. I'll tweet it out, but I am speaking at 8 a.m. on a Twitter space. It's something to do with like AI technology. I've got to look because I've got a bunch of Twitter spaces lined up. There's a company that reached out to me and asked me to speak on those, so I'm going to do so. I'll let you guys know which ones and what time. But tomorrow's at 8 a.m. I'll probably tweet a link this evening. So if you're on your way to work or you're up early in the morning, just throw in a headphone and check it out. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Sorry for the lack of content. It's tough. It is tough when over the last several months we've really done nothing. This whole circle is a nothing, right? Like we haven't broken out, we haven't broken down. I know there's some tradable opportunities along the way, but it's been pretty boring. All right, you guys take it easy. Again, I'm going to be on vacation for the next almost week and a half. So I'll see you guys when I get back. And remember, be patient, use